Hello, Purple Eagle fans. My name is Todd Callen, the radio voice of the men's program here at Niagara University. Welcome to PurpleEagles.com. Very pleased to be joined today by head coach Chris Casey from the men's program. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Todd.
Now, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your team as you enter this season. You finished strong last year, 4 consecutive wins to wrap up the regular season. You have a core of returning players, and I want to highlight some of those. Let's start with Emil Blackman, preseason All-MAC third-team selection. Talk about what you're expecting from Emil to really help lead your team.
Yeah, well, we're expecting a lot from all our returners, and Emil is one of those guys. I felt, and I made it known when the voting was done for all league players, I felt that Emil should have been an all-league player last year. He was top 10 in the league in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, free throw percentage, and scoring. And to me, those are all league numbers. To Emil's credit, he's used that as fuel. He had an extremely good summer, worked very hard. He's been terrific since we started in September, and I'm expecting a breakout year from him this year.
Next up, I want to highlight Karan Davis. I know you're expecting more of a leadership role from Karan and certainly perhaps some more points, some offensive looks for Karan. Talk about what you expect from him this season. I know he'll be key.
I think Karan has made tremendous strides. He, along with Emil, will be the captains of our team this year. We're looking for a few things for Karan. Continued leadership, and he's grown in that role since his freshman year to his sophomore year, and he's doing a good job with that. We're looking for more scoring from him. Karan is a very capable scorer. He shoots the ball very well from 3. He can get into the lane because he's very physical, so we're looking for more of that from him, as well as being able to run our team.
Now, is that a difficult transition or anything that he's struggling with when you have a pass-first guy, as many point guards are, where now he'll be asked to take up the mantle and score a little more? I know players always want to score the basketball. How's he adjusting to that?
Well, there isn't really an adjustment for him because he's always been capable of scoring the basketball. I think when you come in as a freshman and you play your first year, there's a learning process and there's a feeling out process because you're competing at a higher level. He's done a good job with that, and now I think he's ready to take on a bigger role scoring the basketball for us, both from the perimeter, driving the ball, getting to the foul line, and he's shown that already in practice.
Now, Matt Scott is another player who'll be returning, and I thought perhaps Matt snuck up on some people last season. He won't be able to do that this year. Talk about how Matt will need to adjust his game and how he's doing early so far.
Well, he's prepared himself for that. If you get a look at Matt in practice, he's gotten bigger, stronger, faster. He spent a lot of time in the weight room throughout the summer, last spring, this fall. He's gotten his body ready for the season. And I really like our wings. I like him and Emil on the wings. And Matt is another guy that I think can have a terrific year for us. He'll score the basketball. He's got terrific length for us on the wing. Our last inter-squad scrimmage, he had 11 rebounds. He rebounded the ball. So I'm expecting big things from him also.
Last player to highlight, Cam Fowler, very much a steadying force in your backcourt. Talk about how his game has grown and what you need from Cam this year to be even more successful.
Yeah, we need Cam to step up another notch, which he's capable of doing. He's been a utility guy for us. He's guarded the better players. He's played the point. He's played off the ball, and he's done a lot of really good things for us. And he'll have an opportunity to do those things more often in games with more minutes. So we need him to step up, make open shots, and do the things that he's done for us in maybe, not, I don't want to say limited role, but maybe in a little bit less of a role, and now take that role on a bigger basis during the course of games and be able to do those things in greater minutes.
Now, Coach, those core players supplemented by 9 new faces, and I want to talk a little bit, not in detail, but just in general, as you bring in some junior college players, and talk about that recruitment and what maybe you look for in a JUCO transfer and how they can impact your program.
Well, the first thing I want to say is it's always a challenge when you have that many new guys because you're starting from scratch, in terms of teaching. And getting in what you want to get in on the defensive end and getting in what you want to get in on the offensive end. There's not a lot of carryover from the previous year. So you go and you get some junior college guys because they have a little more experience, a little more maturity. They've played a little bit on a higher level, so they're able to pick those things up maybe a little bit quicker. With the junior college players that we've brought in, I like all of them. They've done a terrific job of fitting into what we're trying to do. They know how to work on a college level already. because they're coming from a junior college, which is a college-level basketball. Some of their schools they've been at play a very high level of basketball. So they fit in well. So I like our junior college guys. I'm expecting them to contribute right away to our team.
Now, last thing about the individual part of the team, your incoming class of freshmen, I had a chance to check out the intra-squad scrimmage, and I thought you had some real impactful freshmen. Talk about that group and what you're expecting.
Yeah, I like our freshmen. You know, if we go one at a time, I mean, Dom Robb has a great length. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. If you saw him in the scrimmage, he blocks some shots. He runs the floor very well. We've gotten him ahead of the field once or twice in the scrimmage, and we get him in that with practice. He's got the ability to score around the basket, and a very coachable kid. I mean, he's made from the summer. He got better from the beginning of the summer to the end of the summer, and he's gotten better from the beginning of September to now. Romero Collier is going to be a guy that comes in, handles the ball for us, and does some very good things in terms of running our team. If you watched him in our scrimmages, he's been able to score the basketball for us. His shooting has improved, so I expect him to make an impact. Marvin Prochet is really a guy that's multi-skilled. I mean, guard different positions. He can play different positions offensively. So we're very, very excited about him. He's had a very, very good start to our practices. And Chris Barton is a guy that comes every day and just works and works and works. And his progress from the summer to now has been outstanding. So I expect him to make an impact also.
And then let's talk about those rule changes. How about that? One less timeout for you at your disposal, and also the change from 35-second shot clock to the 30-second clock.
Well, I like the change to the 30 clock, you know, and quite honestly, I don't think that's going to have an impact on us at all. You know, I believe last year the MAC, when you rank all the leagues in scoring, might have come in like around 13th or 14th in the country in scoring. And I believe in conference stats, we were like 5th in the league in scoring. So we'll score the ball, and I don't think we'll have any issues with the shorter clock because we play a faster style of game. So I don't think that'll impact us. I think it will impact the game in terms of more possessions, so there'll be more scoring. But I also think you're going to see maybe more bad shot taking because, you know, when pros see 3 or 4 seconds on the clock, that's like maybe 5, 6, or 7 to a college kid, you know, who's not used to that. So it's going to be an adjustment period. The other part that people don't talk about with the clock change is I think there's an advantage to the defense there. You know, you're going to see more teams maybe with soft pressure to run the clock down and then make you start your offense with 20 or 19 on the clock. You have to guard 5 seconds less, which is an advantage. So it's going to have an impact on your team defensively, too.
Now let's talk about a very familiar face here around campus and around the program. Tyrone Lewis back in the fold as your Director of Basketball Operations. Just talk about the energy that Tyrone is bringing and the impact that he can have on your program.
Yeah, we're excited to have Tyrone here. You know, RJ did a very good job for us and chose to get into some other fields. And it's funny how things work out. Right around the time that RJ had decided to leave, Tyrone was already up here around the program because he wanted to get a feel for college coaching. So it kind of worked out where RJ, who we will miss, left, but we're excited to have Tyrone step in. And it's always great to have a guy that's been through it. You know, on your staff, we have a couple guys that have played college basketball on our staff, and now we add another one with Tyrone. And I think that maybe there's a little more of an understanding about what the guys go through on a daily basis, particularly from a guy like Tyrone who did it here and had success here. So he's maybe able to impart some knowledge and some tips on guys that maybe someone else wouldn't be able to do.
Now, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your schedule, the non-conference schedule. Again, a challenging one. You'll start with the Hall of Fame tip-off tournament at Old Dominion, and then at St. Joe's. You've got a game at St. Bonaventure. You'll travel to Queens and take on St. John's on the road. Talk about your non-conference schedule and what you're looking to get out of it this year.
Well, I like the schedule. You know, first of all, our league is an extremely challenging league. A lot of terrific coaches, some outstanding players. So you need to have your out-of-conference schedule prepare you for the conference schedule. As you mentioned, we're playing in the Hall of Fame Classic. We'll be at ODU, who I believe is receiving top 25 votes. St. Joe's has everybody back, and they have the preseason player of the year on their team. We'll be traveling to the Mohegan Sun for the second part of that tournament, to St. John's, which is always a great trip for us to get down here and play St. John's, which is our sister school. Bonnie's is always going to be great to go to. The intensity level in those games are outstanding for us. And it's going to be good for our guys. You know, they'll have a chance. You know, these tournaments, when you go to the Hall of Fame, we're going to play Friday and Sunday. And then we'll turn around the next weekend and play Saturday and Sunday. So it kind of simulates what a MAC weekend is like. You know, we're playing Thursday, Saturdays. We're playing Fridays, Sundays. So you have a short turnaround, and you have to be, when we push the button, you got to be prepared to go. And I think it'll simulate that. So there's some advantages to our out-of-conference schedule.
The season tips off on November 13th. Purple Eagles on the road at Old Dominion. Coach Casey, thanks so much for visiting with us.
Thank you, Todd.
Folks, don't forget, keep things tuned right here at purpleeagles.com for all the scores, highlights, and schedule information on the basketball program here at Niagara University. My name is Todd Callen. Have a great day, everyone.